This is what I call a traditional supply chain because these days supply chains have changed. So when you purchase from Amazon, the product won't pass through all these channels for getting reached to you. No. So supply chains have changed, but this is traditional supply chain. And this is traditional mathematics that they are teaching us, this business math. So this is a math of supply chain management, prices, discounts, all these things they are teaching here. Now, traditionally, things were manufactured by this guy. Things were produced by this guy called manufacturer. So this manufacturing place produces it and then distributes this product. So there are official distributors who sell it to retail wholesalers, and wholesalers are the ones who buy in bulk and then sell to retailers, and then of course retailers sell to consumers or customers. So this is traditional supply chain. So things move from here: manufacturer, wholesaler, retailer, consumer. Now, this MSRP is manufacturer's suggested retail price, right? So this came from here. This manufacturer is suggesting that maybe you can have the retail price as maybe, let us assume $80 of something, right? Whatever we are selling, the price is $80. Now, trade discount. A discount is a reduction of manufacturer's suggested retail price or list price offered by wholesaler and is usually stated as a percentage of the list price or MSRP. So now what happens is when something is produced and kind of distributed by manufacturer, so moving down, this is maximum price. The word, look at this word, this suggested price is actually something which is a kind of a maximum one, right? Okay. So then there are some sort of discounts offered, right? So trade discount is that discount. Trade discount is that discount which is offered as a reduction. Naturally, discount is reduction, right? There is no doubt about it. And it is offered as a percentage. Normally, it is stated as a percentage. So trade discount is a percentage, something like some percentage. Maybe they say, okay, 25% trade discount. Right. So trade discount is a reduction of manufacturer's suggested retail price. So it is 25%, for example. So it is stated on 25% trade discount on MSRP, right? Manufacturer's suggested retail price. So this 25% is on maybe this thing, right? So when it started, so this guy is maybe telling you, okay, $80 is the suggested price, but then this guy also offers 25% discount on that. Okay. So this discount is trade discount, but sometimes wholesalers also, here we see wholesalers also offer trade discount. So on the list price. So the price of the wholesaler may be called as the list price, right? So the same way manufacturer has MSRP, the same way wholesaler may have, oops, wholesaler may have list price, right? And this guy can also offer trade discount. So trade discount can be offered here at manufacturer level, or it can be offered at wholesaler level, but at both places it is expressed as a percentage rate. So if it is offered by manufacturer, it would be 25% trade discount on MSRP if it is offered by a manufacturer. And if trade discount is offered by a wholesaler, wholesaler would say, okay, it is maybe 10% of list price. Let us call wholesaler's price as list price. So this is a trade discount. Trade discount is 10% of list price, and this statement is made by wholesaler. So both are trade discounts. So when it is offered by manufacturer, it is called a percentage on MSRP. When it is offered by wholesaler, it can be called a percentage of list price. Now, things can also reach a customer, and you can also get rebates and discounts here also. This rate of discount is a reduction in price expressed as a percentage, right? So rate, we compute the rate. So something is reduced. For example, if I say reduction in price, so suppose price is reduced by $20, reduced by $20, right? So it is a reduction in price. So this is discount. So somebody gave me discount of $20, discount of $20, right? So discount of $20 means a reduction by $20 is made, right? So if original price is $80 and reduction discount is 20, then as a percentage means you times it by 100, then it becomes 25%. So we can call it rate of discount is 25%, suppose. So rate of discount is what? So discount is offered, and when you write the discount and divide it by, which is $20, divide it by original price and times it by 100, it gives you a percentage value which becomes rate of discount. So dollar value of discount is 20, but percentage is 25. So put it this way. So these are few things which are used by these people, the business people, at various levels of supply chain. So they have tried to kind of, maybe you have worked in a retail environment and you have heard some terms. Some people might have heard at wholesale environment. They might have heard some terms about discount and other. If you have worked in factory where manufacturing was done, and maybe you were associated by with the distributor of that guy, then you might have heard certain terms about discount. But all those terms are sort of similar, right? The calculation process is similar, but the names are different a little bit, as we see here. Now these are the things, right? So the moral of story is goods are manufactured by somebody and they passes from distributor, wholesaler, retailer, and reaches eventually to the consumers. So the moral of story is that on the way, whatever price these people are offering, manufacturer is suggesting MSRP, wholesaler is suggesting list price, retailer has some price, right? So if those prices are kind of given, then sometime on those prices some discounts are often offered. So if dollar value of discount is given, then we can compute the percentage of discount. This is what it is, right? This is the question right here. Question is given. I'm putting it in a box. So this is the question, right? And answer starts down there. We have to compute two things, the amount of discount and net price. So here list price is given. Here list price is given, it is $120 and 20% of that is 24. So the amount of discount is $24. Amount means dollar value, right? So dollar value is 24 because rate is given. We have to find the dollar value. So if discount is 24 and if you take it off from the list price, then net price you have to pay is 96. So the story way is that you went to buy something, it was for $120 and there was a price tag saying that there is a trade discount of 20% and then list price was 120 and you quickly made the calculation that 20% of 120 is $24. So I will be getting a discount of $24 and then you quickly deducted $24 from $120 and you know that okay, this guy I have to pay $96 to get this product. Of course there will be GST on top of that, but you made these calculations quickly. This is like making you an aware customer here. Here, what is given? The amount of discount is given. Amount means the dollar value. The dollar value of discount is given, 33. List price is also given 100. So rate is to be calculated. So rate is to be calculated, which comes out to be 33. So if I take one more question, if I say, okay, the amount of discount is $30. Suppose I change the question now. I'm changing the question. Amount of discount is $30 and the list price is $120, right? What would be the rate of discount? I am trying to do myself here. Just please watch it. So I did a second example here, right? So when amount of discount is given and list price is given, so you can do it this way. So amount of discount you will take here divided by list price, amount of discount I should write divided by list price into 100. So this would give you the answer, and answer is rate of discount. You are computing rate of discount. So in this question, basically what is happening, amount of discount is given and list price is given and you are supposed to compute the rate of discount. This is how. Then yes, Dan has joined. So then these terms, discount period and credit period. So discount period and credit period are different things. And I had one example here. I have to jump to that example here in the ordinary dating, right? So sometime when you purchase something and you get a bill, or when you sell something and you issue invoice to the client, you use these terms, right? And these terms look like this: 3/15 n/60, right? So 3/15 n/60 means what? The discount period is this one, right? And credit period is this one. So discount period is 15 days and credit period is 60 days. So I am suppose selling you something. So I am telling with these terms, I am telling you that, okay, I have sold you something on account. I have sold you something on account means you are not paying to me today, right? But you have to pay me within 60 days. So you have a credit period of 60 days. But if you think that you have surplus money, you can come back and make me a prompt payment within 15 days. And in that case, I will give you a 3% discount. So I am encouraging you to pay well before 60 days and offering you an incentive with by a 3% discount, right? So this is what it means. So if I give you another terms, maybe next time when you come, I would say, okay, this is my term of sales to you. And suppose this time I write these terms. What does it mean now? So when I write those terms, 2/10 n/30, I am saying that credit period is 30 days. So you have to come to me and pay me in 30 days because I'm selling you something on credit. And if you have sufficient money, you can come quickly, promptly come and pay me within 10 days because you are paying me well before 30 days, I will pay you 2% discount. So discount period is 10 days, but credit period is 30 days. So discount period days means that no discount will be given to you after 10th day. So after 10 days, if you come and pay me, I won't give you discount. So discount period is 10 days, but credit period is 30 days. So it means you have a total credit period of 30 days. If you are not paying within 30 days, then this is a red flag. I will send a report to my credit department and it would go into collections after 30-day period because credit period has lapsed. So that is what it is. So here, this is the question and answer is in the box. This is the answer in the box at the bottom. Now there are few things happening, right? So here, find, it says find the net price, the amount of discount, and the single equivalent discount rate. And the single equivalent discount rate. So three things we have to find, right? So in simple words, I am explaining the question, right? So calculations are done here. So first calculation is net price. It says find the net price is there. Second thing is amount of discount. The dollar value of discount is this thing. Single equivalent rate is this thing. Right? So all these three things have been calculated, right? And this is how you do that if you get this question in exam. I can't change it. But what I'm doing is I'm trying to explain the question because I think sometimes if we understand the kind of question in a simple language or in simple words, then it kind of helps us stick the things in our mind, right? So what is happening here? We are asking for, I'm starting from here, single equivalent rate of discount, single equivalent. So sometimes we say, okay, this guy is giving us a series of discount. If you got the chance to read this chapter, you know, this is a series of discount. So list price is 240. So discount is 30% and then 20% and then 10%. Sometimes a person thinks that a single equivalent rate is 30 plus 20 plus 10, which is 60%. No, no. Single equivalent rate is not 60%. So single equivalent rate is not the sum of all the discounts. First of all, this myth has to be cleared. Right? This is what I want to say. I don't have much to say here. But how single equivalent discount is calculated? This is the formula given here. That 1 minus 0.3, which is for 30%, 1 minus 0.20, which is for 20%, 1 minus 0.10, 0.10 represent 10%. So when you take these three things and times them, this, and then you have 1 minus all these things, this gives you single equivalent rate of discount. Single equivalent rate of discount is computed this way with this formula. So the formula becomes, if I try to make a formula 1, so I borrow 1, this one, minus, bracket starts, 1 minus this 0.30 is for first rate of discount. Let us call it D1 minus D1 into bracket starts 1 minus 0.20. 0.20 is for second rate of discount. Then this bracket starts 1 minus 0.10, which is for D3, which is the third rate of discount. So if you solve all these things, then you get a single rate of discount. Single rate of discount. So this is how it works. And in case of net price, this second part remains the same. This second part remains the same. In case of net price, here we write, rather than 1, we write the list price here. That's all. So single rate of discount is computed like this, but the first question net price is list price, and then everything else remains the same. This part remains the same. Okay. So this is how we do it, right? So I will, maybe I can take some example. This is a tough example, right? Tough example, question. I will take some simple example. Same thing, I will take a simple example. I will say, okay, find I will take this example, simple one, parallel to the sixth question. Parallel means similar to the sixth question. Find what it says. I will read one more time. Find net price, amount of discount, and single discount rate. Find net price, amount of discount, and single discount rate. Three things I have to find. Discount rate. When in this question they say list price is 240 and discounts are 30, 20, 10, I will assume list price as a simple one. List price is maybe $100, and discounts, a series of discounts are 20% and 10%. I took 2, not 3, to make my life easier. So I took simple numbers. So first thing is I will calculate this list net price. So net price I have to compute. Net price is equal to what? List price minus 1 minus first rate of discount, 1 minus second rate of discount. There is no third rate of discount. So list price is $100. So they have given it, minus 1 minus 20%, which is 0.20, 1 minus D2. D2 is 10%, which is 0.10. So there is no minus sign here. There is multiplication. There is multiplication sign here. This is multiplication. $100 times 1 minus 0.20 is what? 0.80. 1 minus 0.10 is 0.90. $72 final. I was trying to show the calculator for some reason. Let me see. So $72. Net price is $72. Now, net price is $72. So what does it mean? I went to a shop and the list price was $100. It was written on a tag, $100. But then there was a series of discount offered, and series of discounts had 2 discounts, first one 20%, second 10%. And I was wondering, do I get 20 plus 10 total of 30? and then deduct 30 from 100 and it is 70. No, total discount is 20 plus 30, 10, 30. No, right? So that is how a series of discounts are little bit misleading. We can't just add them and say total discount is right. So in this case, we have to do this thing. Net price we find. And second thing was what we were supposed to find. Anybody remembers? Amount of discount. Here in the question, it is written net price and then amount of discount. What is amount of discount in this case? Anybody? $100 was list price. They sold it to me for 72. So the amount of discount is $28. Right. And third question is single discount rate. So single discount rate is 1 minus, I gave you that formula, 1 minus D1 into 1 minus D2. So 1 minus 1 in bracket 1 minus 0.20 is for 20%, 1 minus D2 0.10 for 10%. So it is 1 minus 0.80 into 0.90. So it is 1 minus 0.7072. It is 0.28. So single rate of discount is 0.28, which means 28%. So single rate of discount is 28% and not 30%, like some of those. So these are three things we have to compute. I did what? I kind of assumed a simple example here. You can take a picture on your cell phone. These three things, how you do that. These three things. These three things. Some question may ask you. Right, so you have to kind of pay attention here. Dating we have talked. So sometime in the terms, you write EOM. EOM means end of month. So that discount period or credit period starts after the end of month. So end of month means the last day of the month. Right? End of month for July would be 31st July. End of month for September would be 30th September, right? So that is how sometimes they do that. They write end of month. So end of month means this 10-day discount period would start after end of month, and this 30-day credit period would start after end of month. So sometime they write EOM, and you may be wondering what EOM means. Then it means end of month. So receipt of goods means my credit period or my discount period will start after I have received the goods. So that is what it means, right? Sometime they are in transit, and if they are coming from some other country or continent, then you don't want the discount period to start today, because invoice can reach you through email today itself within 5 seconds, but goods you have not even received. So you would say, okay, I will, my discount period should start only when I have received the goods. So then you will not negotiate for a term called ROG, receipts of goods. So it means if it is 10-day discount period, it would start after you have received the goods. And if it is 30-day credit period, it would start after you have received the goods. So the moral of the story is that in accounting also you will learn this thing. So what is happening is now or later. This is my way of putting it, now or later, right? So if I go to somebody to purchase something, right, and I pay now, right? So I count the bills and the coins and I pay now, then I don't have to worry about these things. I don't have to worry. I have paid. I have paid. These ordinary dating, end of month dating, receipt of goods, they don't even matter to me. I don't care. I have paid you. Story is done. But if I have to pay later, now it means that I did not pay today. I will pay to the guy on a later date. And that later date is always a matter of discussion, negotiation, and sometimes dispute also. So in that case, we have to pay attention whether the pay later date is when. So those 30 days, okay, he says credit period is 30 days. You have to pay within 30 days. Now question arises when the 30 days would start. Today, from today, or after receipt of goods, or after end of month, right? So this is what it is. So if it is a pay later situation, then you may be paying within 60 days from today. If it is ordinary dating, if you will pay 60 days from end of month. If it is EOM dating, or you will pay after 60 days. If it is ROG dating, then you will pay 60 days after you have received the goods. So kind of, so this is all on this side when you are on this side of the things.